All right.
Thank you.
Oh, for sure. All right. Is it Miles? No.
Oh, yeah, that's Miles and Sydney Portier.
Oh my God. Okay, now don't, this is recording. Okay. All right, everyone come have a seat. Our bodies are in rhythm with nature. And when things are growing in the spring, you feel different, don't you? Did you notice it? Things are growing within you. In the summer when it's hot, that's when we can really get things done. When we get things done outside, the fire is in us. But this is the winter time, deep in the winter. And this is a time for us to really take care of ourselves, to listen when our body is tired and rest a lot more than we do in the summer and the spring. And just notice what's inside of us, not make any kind of commitment to do anything different or take on something huge, a new, big, difficult project in terms of our personal growth. I'm not talking about any kind of work situation. You want to know that this is a deep, thoughtful time. So I want you to notice that. Maybe sit and watch the snow and the outside. Just watch it, close your eyes, and just be in this very contemplative place of winter. So close your eyes and come to your breath. Want to deepen your breath on the inside. Just really notice deep breath, just enough to calm yourself. Nature is in a state of rest up here, rejuvenating itself, preparing for the spring. And that's what we're doing too. That's why we like soup, hot food, it's nourishing in the winter. Set your intention just to be here with yourself, preparing for the spring. Slowly open your eyes, rolling your shoulders back and forward, just getting some nice shoulder rolls. And then you're going to take your arms to T and squeeze something in your palms. So you feel it in the biceps, you might even feel it at the triceps, and take your shoulder blades together. And now you're going to extend your shoulder blades away from each other. Hug your shoulder blades together and down your back, and open them up, lifting your arms, a little scaption here in the shoulders. So as you extend away, we call that organic extension. You're coming away from the center. But as you draw the shoulder blades together, everything hugs to the midline. This is called muscular energy. This is the time of year that we're doing now. We're hugging in. So just find that little expansion and hugging in. Inhale. Exhale. Your shoulders are shrugging just a little bit on the inhale, but as the exhale comes, the shoulders melt down your back. Take a few more just like that. Inhale, exhale. One more. And release. Take your right hand to the earth and now reach over to the right. And then come back to center, taking your left elbow behind you. Exhale all the way over. And inhale back. Keep your left sit bone, your left hip grounded so you get lots of length. And you should notice that you're getting warmed up pretty quick because your body was pretty cold. Right? Yeah. Exhale, moving with the breath. Inhale. Actually, this is the season for bumpy kick, I would say. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Oh, inhale all the way up. Draw your way back to center, sitting up tall. Close your eyes and allow the left side of your body to float up, and notice it with a big full breath. And now we're going to change sides, taking your left hand to the earth, reach over to the left and back to center. And exhale, bending your left elbow, maybe the left forearm will come closer to the earth, but keeping your right hip grounded. All the way over and back. And over. 4, 3, 2. Oh, yeah. Last one. Make sure you really pull your elbow behind you. All the way back to center. Good. Now I want you to come to lying on your back. And we're just going to start opening our hips in a very natural kind of way. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and you're going to press your right thigh bone away from you. Good. And I just want you to lift your left knee towards your chest and press the right thigh bone away. So inhale it in and exhale, press it away. So the right thigh bone wants to really open away from your hip. Maybe flexing both your ankles, widening your toes. Inhale, a little deeper. Oh, yeah. Exhale. Getting right into the hip flexors in a more natural way. Well, we do it pretty natural always, but more winter kind of way, a more grounded kind of way. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now, keeping your knees, your right ankle over your left thigh, I want you to twist over towards the left, but I don't want you to land. And I want you to use your core to come all the way back to center. Exhale, twist towards your left, so as if your right foot wants to land, but it doesn't, and then you're going to come all the way back to center. So you're inviting your core to start firing up. That's where the fire is. That's where the heat is in our solar plexus, right? Inhale. And exhale. Oh, yeah. And take one more just like that. Maybe with a smile. Keep the right thigh bone away from your torso. And all the way back to center. And release. Ooh, yeah. Just kind of shake out your hips. Now we're going to do the other side. You're going to cross your left ankle over your right thigh and press the left thigh bone away from you. So when we're standing, I want the thigh bone to draw away from your body, and we're going to start getting our body used to that now. And then you're going to lift your right knee towards you, right? And just kind of press it away and extend it a little closer. Keep the left thigh bone pressed away. See if you can take the top of your pelvis back, and you'll get a little bit deeper in your core. But this is definitely cooking up the hamstrings and the flexors, the hip flexors. And if you're breathing, that makes all the difference in the world, the breath. Let's just take a few more, just like that. A little bit deeper. And back to center. Keeping your arms to T, twist towards your right without landing, and use your core to come back to center. If you keep a nice little flex in your ankles and a widening of your toes, it'll be more energetic. But you might start to feel your spine kind of rearranging itself in a way that's healthy for you. Yeah. Let's take 3 more just like that. Exhale. Inhale. Moving sweet and slow, like winter. Yeah. Last one. Back to center. Oh, yeah. And release. Oh, yeah. Just kind of shake out your hips. Now, with your shoulder blades hug together and down your back, we already cleared that out. Press your feet down pretty close to your hips, and I want you to lift your bum up and just kind of walk your shoulder blades together. And we're going to lower and lift. Just do it with your feet parallel to start with. Make sure your thigh bones are parallel. And you're not landing. You're squeezing the glutes and squeezing the core. So just because it doesn't look wicked and evil, doesn't mean you're not doing a lot of really fine work here. So do your best, right? Okay, 5, 4, 3. You got the idea. Good. And then I want you to do 8 little pulses, but you tend to go faster here. Let's not do that. Let's just count 6 now. 5, 4, 3, good. 2, last 1. And then roll your spine back to the earth from top to bottom. Good. Now you're going to widen your knees, your feet just a little bit more and take your knees together. Keep your feet pretty close to your hips. And we're just going to find a little pulse here as we lift, pressing your kneecaps together. That's also really good for your back, to reset your back. You have a nice, strong aligned back. This feels good also when you have any kind of low back stuff. Keep your knees pressed together, your feet wide. And 6, 5. You feel a little bit more freedom when you walk. 3, 2, last 1, and all the way back down. Oh yeah. Draw your knees towards your chest and take some knee circles here. Oh yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Good. Now you're going to roll onto your right side because I'm going to my right side. And I'm going to come onto my right forearm. And I'm going to simply extend my left leg long. I'm on my right forearm. I'll get my block out of the way. I'm simply going to lift and lower. And lift and lower. Good. So make sure it's your outer hip that you're working on. And lower. So you're sideways, you're neither forward nor back. Good. And lift. Lift. Good. And 8, 7. But we're not going to start here. End here. 5, 4. We're really grounded, like we're planted seed. And release. And just kind of shake it out a bit. Now, I want you to take your top leg, which is still your left, and you're going to inner spiral. So the right inner thigh rolls back. And you're going to tap slightly forward as if the toes aim to the earth, and you're going to lift and lower. So we're getting a little bit deeper back there. Maybe a little bit more forward with your leg. But you roll the inner thigh bone back. Your toes aim towards the earth. 8. Yeah. 7. 6. Breathing. 4. 3. 2. We're going to just start down here with our body and release. Okay. Now you're going to step your left foot forward in front of you. Now, if you can hold on to your left ankle, that's great. If you can't, that's great too. If your left foot's in front of you further away, it all works. It doesn't matter. But you're going to extend your bottom right leg nice and long, firing up the right inner thigh. And you're simply going to lift and lower and lift Good. Firing up the right inner thigh as I let somebody else in. Good. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. Oh, they missed all the fun part. Okay. And lift. Good. And now I just want you to pulse it up. Pulse. Pulse. And pulse. Firing up the right inner thigh. And 8. And let somebody else. 7. 6. Slowly. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Hold it up. Hold it up. Firing up that right inner thigh. Hold it up. Hold it up. And release. Make your way to a seat on the mat. Good. Now you're going to make some circles with your upper body. This is going to feel really good in your low back. Moving with the breath. Exhale and inhale. And finally warming up. Inhale and exhale. And then the other way. Imagine you're just moving the energy around you, just kind of mixing it up. Good. And then we're going to go right back, but this time we're going to go onto our left side, on your left forearm. Now, if it feels lousy on your shoulder, you can always do day at the beach pose, guys. You decide what works for you. Right leg is long, left knee is bent, and you're going to lift and lower, getting right into the medius. So you're on your side, you're neither forward nor back, right? You're definitely on the side. The medius is right on the side of your hip. If you floint your foot, which is a pointed toe and a flexed ankle, I used to call that a Barbie foot. No, they still do. Okay, and 8, 7, slow, 6 with the breath, 5, 4, yeah. You'll notice how this is going to feel different when you stand up. And this is the earth stuff. 3, 2, last one. Oh yeah. And just give your hips a little shake or even smacking your right hip. Now you can extend your right leg long and inner spiral. So the right inner thigh rolls back. And look what happens to your foot. The toes aim toward the earth. And you're going to extend your right leg forward. And you're going to lower and lift so that your toes aim to the earth. Yeah. You'll feel a little bit further back in your hip. And of course, if your belly's not engaged, you're not going to get very far. And everyone's going to look a little different. But it's going to really feel good for your hips. And 8. Slowly. 7. 6. 5. Good. 3, 2, last one, and release. Oh, yeah. Now, you're going to step your right foot in front of you and keep your right knee up to the ceiling. So if your right foot, you can't grab it, that's fine. You know that. You just put it wherever it feels edgy for you. You're going to extend your bottom left leg long and firing up the left inner thigh. You're going to lift and slowly lower and lift. So your entire core is engaged here. Even though you're focusing on that left inner thigh, notice how it engages everything. Yeah. Exhale. Moving with a nice, sweet, slow breath. Good. 8, slow. 7. 3, 2, last one. Oh yeah. Now make your way to table pose, hands and knees. So once you're nice and set up, make your way into your cat and cow, and maybe you'll notice something a little different about this cats and cows. Notice how your hips feel, how engaged your belly is, and the mobility in your shoulders, the warmth of the shoulders. Good. And a few more just like that. You can always make some hip circles here. This is the perfect place to check it out. One way and then the other. So I now want to get into the glutes, which is the big muscle back there. So this is my favorite. Right knees at 90 degrees, and you're going to press weights up with the sole of your right foot. So the right ankle stays pretty flexed, and you're going to lower. The right knee stays at 90 degrees. The only thing that's moving your leg is your right glute, right? Squeeze. So we do things for our glutes standing also. So I want you to really focus. Usually when we're doing glute stuff standing, we're not really focusing on the glute. It's a nice big muscle that keeps us upright. Yeah, I'm thinking it looks good in our pants too, though. Good. Anyway, 8, 7, 6, 4, slowly, slower. 3, 2, last one. Now you're going to stay up and just flex it. Just flex and just press up that energy. 6, slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And back to center. And make your way into a child pose. Knees wide, big toes together. Take a nice big stretch here. Oh yeah. Walk your hands over to the right. Walk your torso to the right. And imagine you're reaching your left arm forward and just get a nice stretch on the left side of your body. Big, a nice little twist here. Actually, it's more of a side bend. And then with your breath, walk over to the left and walk your right arm longer than the left. You can even take your right hand on top of the left. A huge stretch on the left side of your body. Good. On the right side of your body. And back to center and into table pose. Once again, softening your heart. And now we're going to do the left glute. Left knee stays at 90, left ankle is flexed. And you lower and you press. Inhale and exhale. So that big, long breath leads the way here. Good. You don't want to land if you can avoid it. Until you feel a nice heat in that left glute. And 8, 7, 6, 5. Go slow. Knees at 90 degrees. Knee stays at 90 degrees, guys. All right, now we're going to just 8 little pulses. Knee at 90 degrees. As if your ankle that's flexed is pressing weights up toward the sky. 6, slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and back to center. And just take a few hip circles here. Moving with the breath. Yeah. Okay, now back to shoulders. So I want your hands under your wrists. Your hands are always under your wrists. Your hands are under your shoulders. And I want you to take your right elbow back and open your heart. And then just come back, taking your right elbow to the left. And then lift it up. All the way up, open it up, make it edgy, exhale. So imagine your right elbow wants to lean, reach up to the sky, and then you're going to take your right elbow outside the left elbow. Inhale and exhale. Be aware of what your belly is doing. Make sure it's nice and engaged. This is also core work. Yeah, so every muscle Our back body will be nice and warm for the standing practice. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. And back to center. I want you to sit back on your heels just for a second and see if you can notice how your right shoulder feels compared to your left. The right shoulder should feel like it's further back. Yeah, this is the right side of your body is more upright. Yeah. Take a breath. Back to table. Let's do the left side. Left elbow back and over to the right. And then inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Six. But slowly with the breath. 5. Remember, we do it slowly all the time, but especially here in the winter to remember just here in depth of the preparation for spring, just juicing our bodies up like a battery. 3, 2, last one. And back to center. Soften your heart, shoulder blades together, belly back. I want you to lift your knees up and take your hips back and just find a little pulse here with the belly back, as if you're trying to reach your hips back, but I don't know, something's keeping you where you're at. But your knees are hovering, getting into the quads, also attached to everything else, obviously, right? And now you're gonna roll your sit bones as high as they'll go. Come on to your tiptoes. And keeping your bum that high, you're gonna start to lengthen your heels toward the floor and then walk your dog, bending your right knee and then your left. And here you are. Oh yeah. Nice. Right and down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, step your right foot forward, just halfway. Pressing both feet down. You're going to press your feet down to come all the way up, circling your arms all the way up. Keep your right outer hip back. Then take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift your heart, and with your right outer hip back, start to fold forward. So this is going to get into the hammies, right? Yep, that's how it works. Oh yeah, lift your arms up off your back, and a nice stretch in your upper back. Right hip back. You should feel it in the back of your right leg. Keep the left inner thigh rolling back. Just notice that. Take a few more breaths here. Oh yeah. And release. All the way back to down dog. Inhale to lift your left leg up behind you. And then step your left foot 2/3 of the way forward. Walking your hands back, widening your stance. Press your feet down to come all the way back up. Now your left outer hip draws back, lifting up tall. Take your hands behind your back, lift your heart. And then with the left hip drawing back, you're going to get right into that hip flexor. And you might get a little deeper than you thought until you get a nice stretch in your low back. And you breathe into that space. Good. Then take your hands to the earth. Stepping into your left foot, you're going to step your right foot beside your left forward fold. Good. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up and bring your palms together to your heart center and release. Widen your stance wide, taking your toes out to start with, and we're going to come right into a goddess. So there's a tendency to want to roll forward. Let's not do that. Let's take a nice long spine. But I want you to press your thigh bones back. I want that to be a muscular habit of yours, okay? get some muscular memory here so that when you're in warrior 1 or 2, the thigh bones want to draw back, because when you're not thinking, our natural inclination is to have them dip forward. This is not cool, okay? Yeah. Now you're going to take your hands behind your back of your head. You can either that or press your fingertips to your ears and reach up and over so that you tap your elbows toward your thigh bones. So every time we lengthen the sides of our body, we're actually helping our back. Yeah. Now, does it matter if you tap or you just try to? No, it's about the intention, right? And 4, 3, 2, last one. You have to go to the left too, though, guys. And back to center. All right. Keep your feet hip width apart. Take some hip circles here. So now you should feel nice and tall and warmed up in your body. Now we're going to do some vinyasas. Good. So we're going to start with shins forward, bum back, Utkatasana, fierce warrior. Yeah, that's what we are, girls, ladies. Good. Circle your arms up. Now I want you to take your palms back behind you and maybe come onto your left tiptoes. Good. And then come up again. And come onto your right tiptoes. Let's get the gas out of our ankles, but also release our hips. Okay? Let's try that again. Right and left. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Right toes up. And exhale. Left toes. Left heel up. I'm sorry. Exhale. Last one. Oh, yeah. Hope that cooked your quads pretty good. And make your way into a twist. However you twist, keeping the left hip back, opening up your heart. Good. Right hip draws back too. Get nice length. Inhale back to center. I hope your quads feel cooked. And all the way to your left, keeping your right outer hip back. You're getting lots of length here. Okay, good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. All right, now our back is ready. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank with where your knees need to be, either up or down. It matters not, right? Keeping your belly engaged, soften your heart. Good. And then you're going to lower your knees to the earth and roll your thigh bones to the floor. So we're going to get into some core work right here. I want you to come onto your forearms and place your forearms parallel so that they're hugging the earth and isometrically pulling back so you feel lots of engagement in your upper back. Now you're going to press your knees down and start to lift your thigh bones. And then exhale, you're going to look at your belly. Exhale. You're going to hold the end of the exhale. And as you inhale, you're going to roll your thigh bones to the earth. And then lift up your chin and chest last. So this is going to be kind of like a cobra for your low back. Got it? Okay, exhale. Look at your belly. Hold the end of the exhale. Then inhale, roll your thigh bones forward, reaching your heart forward and your forearms isometrically back. So you can feel it in your upper back. All right, continue just like that. Exhale. Inhale. Feel the resistance within. Exhale. To me, it almost feels like you're lengthening your spine. Exhale. So you're getting into your core without torquing anything in your back. I love this one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 4 more. 4. 3. 2. Oh, yeah. You guys feeling in your core? I hope so. All right, release. Just take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift your heart, get a nice upper back stretch. Now take your hands to the earth, make your way into a down dog. So we're going to do something kind of weird here or there, you know, what I like to do. So you're going to lift your right leg up, exhale, and step your right foot forward, preparing for warrior one, and circle your arms all the way up. So your left foot that's behind you, I want it at about a 25 degrees out, not all the way out ever, so that your hips are kind of squarish. You're going to take your arms up over your head, option one. And if your shoulders don't allow it, always come to New Jersey pose. What do you call this? Goal pose. Bend your elbows, shoulder blades down your back. But what we're going to do is twist first to the right, come back to center, and then we're going to twist to the left. But notice how my right thigh wants to reach in. I want the right thigh staying out. This is what we were doing before, right? So let's try it again. Center, over to the right, back to center, and now over to the left, but the right thigh bone stays reaching out. Back to center. Out to the right. Back to center. And to the left, right thigh bone out. 2 more times. Forward. To the right. Forward. To the left. Last one. Exhale into each pose. Inhale into center. And then last one. And then make your way into warrior one. And then right into warrior two. I know that was a little weird, but you know I like weird. And you're going to come out of it flexing your ankles, flexing your wrists, taking your elbows back, lengthening your legs long. Let's see that, guys. Legs are straight now. And now you're going to press into it, but you're going to guide the right thigh bone back. So inhale in, but you're going to press some imaginary energy out and the right thigh bone back. Inhale in, exhale, right thigh bone back, press. Inhale in, elbows are moving behind you. They want to meet behind your back. And then the right thigh bone out, stay nice and tall. Try to avoid taking your torso forward. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale deep into that space, right thigh bone out. Inhale. And right thigh bone out. Good. Now exhale your right forearm to your right thigh, pressing the forearm down to lift the right waist up and forward. So you get those oblique engagement, and you just take your left arm where it would go, but keep that engagement. Take a breath as you lean back. Now take your left hand to your left hip, take your bum back, and lengthen both legs long, making your way into a lovely triangle. Good. It is a lovely triangle. Right waist up. Now this is a great place to have a block. If you want your block here, great place. Good. All right, take your left hand to the earth, step back to plank. You can come right into dog, or because everything is nice and warm, you might be able to come into a cobra or an up dog. And right into down dog. Okay, so now we're going to do that series on the left. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forward. So you're going to come into a warrior one stance as you press down and come all the way up. Now your right toes are at 25 degrees. I don't want them out too far. So then you can take your left hip back. Okay? Find the place that works for your shoulders. Now, you're going to come into warrior one and twist to the left. Inhale to center and twist to the right. Is the left thigh bone coming in? I hope not. And back to center. To the left. Breathe into it. Keep the left thigh bone back as you twist to the right. and back to center. Exhale. Inhale to center, left thigh bone back. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more times. Last one. Oh yeah. And back to center. And right into warrior 2. I'm just gonna move here. So now the left thigh bone wants to draw out, wants to be back, right? Flex your wrists. And then as you straighten up your legs, your elbows draw back, and you're gonna press something really heavy away. Inhale. Pull it back as if your wrists are on rusty tracks, and you're pressing through that. Inhale. There's nothing rusty about us, of course. It's the tracks. Now, many of us have some issues with arthritis, so you have to work with that, right? It means you don't stop moving. You just come to that edge, keeping the left thigh bone back as much as you can, right? 4, 3, 2, last one. Notice how we're really conscious. It's more, you get more benefit. Take your left forearm to your left thigh, lifting the left waist and rolling it forward. Stay deep. Now, depending on your shoulder, your right arm can find its place wherever your right arm feels it works. Let me take my right arm up here. Lift the left waist. Good. Now take your right hand to your right hip, take your bum back, and lengthen both legs long into that triangle on the left. Oh yeah. So the left waist is lifted, the shoulder blades are hugged together. Your legs are nice and strong, the glutes say, oh yeah, I can do this, right? And you're breathing, breathing, breathing. Good. Exhale, release your right hand to the earth, and step your right foot forward beside your left forward fold. Good. Press your feet down and circle your arms all the way up and bring your palms together to your heart center. Good. Now, you can take your palms up. You can bring your palms to your heart center. So we did this yesterday. You're going to step into your left foot first and lift your right knee, or you come to the tiptoes of your right foot. All good. However you choose to do it. And you're just going to make kind of a figure 8 with your palms outside of it. You have to do it without speaking, or you have to be really present. And you're going to move to the left. So I'm going to do it on my tiptoes to show you. And you breathe. You can lift your right knee. And then lift your left. You can see how this will get easier the more we do it. We moved all those muscle groups. Can you do one more right and left? Can you let yourself be tippy? It's a cool thing to do. And back to center. Last vinyasa, but this time we're going to take all those pieces and work them in. Utkatasana, fierce warrior. Now, you're going to lift your right knee up and step your right foot back. Lower your right knee towards the earth. Come back up. Take your right knee up towards the earth, the sky, and back to center. Now, if you want to keep your toes on the earth, you tap forward. You step back as far as you want to step back. You lower your right knee, you extend. Then you take your right knee either forward or to keep your toes on the earth and back to center. We're going to do that 4 more times. So either your toes are either up or down, you can keep your palms open. Lift. Or tap. 2 more times. Last one. Nice. Now bring your right knee up towards your chest and step. Good. Back to Utkatasana. Shins forward, bum back, and into those quads. Good. Lift your left knee or tap it, whatever you like. Just get your footing. Get your gaze. Step back. Lower. Lift. And back. So eventually, we would step back and back up. Or you tap forward. And you tap back. And you tap back to center. You decide what works for you. 4, 3, make it a little bit more fluid. 2, last one. Go back to Utkatasana. Circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, either back to plank or back to dog, or take a half vinyasa with your knees either up or down, whatever works for you, right? And back to dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Come into a warrior 1. Now, the right thigh bone is going to draw out to the right. You're going to dip forward using those hip flexors that we know and love now. Come all the way up. And this time we're going to take your palms back, stepping into your right foot, and you might take off into a warrior 3, the airplane. If you bend your front right knee, it might be a little bit more accessible. Your belly's engaged, everything knows what to do, right? And then step into warrior 2. Step right into warrior 2. Take your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart. The right thigh bone is back, right, guys? Take your heart forward, your hips back. Yummy. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, your right forearm to your right thigh, lifting the right waist. Take your bum back. Make your way into that triangle. Notice how that feels. And then take your left hand to the earth. And you can step right back to dog. If you need to take a half vinyasa, feel free to do so. Always. Check in with your breath. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, warrior 1. Inhale into it. Exhale, remember how we just dip forward. That's all you got to do. Or you can dip forward and take off. If you bend your front left knee, you'll get way more stability. And there is no rules. Just going to be there. Oh, yeah. Then step back to warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Nice. Take your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale and dip so that your inner thigh bones, inner thigh muscles roll back, your heart rolls forward. Good. Press your feet down, come back to center, and then up into warrior 2. Exhale your left forearm to your left thigh, lifting the left waist. Stay low. Then take your hips back and lengthen both legs long into that beautiful triangle. You did it. Yes, you did. Release your right hand to the earth and step your right foot forward beside your left. Grab your block. Grab your block. Now you're going to take the block to the earth so that it's long waist. You might want to have a wall nearby or a chair or a piece of furniture. And you're going to step right into it. So your spine is long, your shoulders are hugged together, your belly's engaged. Let's stand up. Yeah. Even as we prepare ourselves. And you're just going to swing your left leg. Just swing it. Yeah. Now, if you want to go out to the left, you can. You're gonna have to look at something that's not moving or hold on to something. Because you're not on terra firma. This releases your left hip. Yeah, your hip says thank you. Are you breathing still? Yeah. And come back to center. Now notice how that feels. How your left leg feels a little longer than your right. Yeah. Okay, let's fix that. Left foot on the block. Stepping down. Lifting tall. And then find your way. So if you want to hold on to something, I recommend that. That's really cool. It does not take away from the pose at all. You can take your leg sideways. Yeah. Don't mess with us. We are firing ourselves up for the spring, right? Taking care of ourselves. So lucky to be here. And release. Oh, that was most excellent. Keep your block nearby for the last pose and make your way into a yoga squat. So it can be sitting on a chair, near a chair. You keep your bum back like you're going to sit on a chair. Or you can take your forearms to your thighs, or you can come into a deeper pose. It depends on your hips, your knees, but your hip flexors should be ready. Keep your elbows reaching out. Press them out. So notice thigh bones out. Press the thigh bones out with your elbows. But now the thigh bones are going to hug in. They're going to resist. And you should feel it in those adductors right into your pelvic floor. And you're breathing nice and deep. Maybe smiling at the idea of just knowing that we are germinating. Just waiting for the spring, right? And come on, all the way onto your bum. Good. Today, you're going to circle, take the top of the pelvis back and just reach back just a little bit, right? And I want to take your arms either forward or holding onto your shins, or you can always keep your hands on the earth. But you're going to keep your knees kind of wide, and you're going to lift and lower, and lift and lower with the thigh bones wide. Now, if you want to lift the soles of your feet together off the earth and come up and down that way, that's also very lovely. But it's not a must. You'll get into your core either way. And exhale. Top of the pelvis stays back. You get a nice engagement in the belly. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, good. Last one. Come all the way back up, hugging your shins, sit up tall. Close your eyes and notice your breath. Taking all the good, right? Taking all the good things that we have coming our way, our gratitude, nutrients, everything that comes into us now. That's what helps us. Now you're going to extend your legs nice and long in front of you and circle your arms all the way up. So you're going to really use those flexors here. Option 1 is to stay up here and just tap forward and come up. Option 2 is to roll the top of the pelvis down and come all the way up, all the way down to the earth. And then take your arms up and slowly roll all the way up, and you'll tap forward somewhere. But the top of the pelvis tips back first, okay? So that's going to keep a nice connection in your low back so that you're nice and strong. Top of the pelvis stays back even when you come up, right? Good. Find that place on the inhale, that place on the exhale. Just take a few more here, just like that. So we work on your core the entire time. Just want you to know this just kind of finishes things off, like adding the parsley at the end. Just take a few more here, slowly. Good, last one. And come all the way, keep your block around. Come all the way to line on the earth. Good. Draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Good. Now I want you to take your block. This is really important, guys. It doesn't look that way, but it is. You're going to push your feet to the earth, lift your bum, and take the block under your sacrum. So you have nice support. Yeah. So it's not your low back, it's below, it's like the center of the pelvis. Then you're going to take your knees towards your chest and extend your legs nice and long up toward the sky. This is one of the most therapeutic poses in all of yoga, guys. It reverses the flow of prana, of blood, of everything that's in, in our bodies. It gives our heart a little break. And if you breathe that yoga breath as you do this, traditionally we stay here for 15 breaths. You're actually replacing fresh prana in places that have stuff being cleaned out, toxins cleaned out. You might notice that your feet look a little bit clearer in terms of the veininess. Yeah. Viparini Karani. So you can do this with a block. You can do this in any kind of inversion. Shoulder stand. I don't recommend headstands anymore. I've been reading that might not be so smart for us to go into those anymore. Oh, I do miss that. But this works. Close your eyes and take 4 more breaths here. Make sure your legs are vertical. Don't let them drift, either towards you or away from you. Oh yeah, last breath, exhale, draw your knees toward your chest, take your feet to the earth, lift your hips and remove the block. Take your arms to T. As you slide your bum to the left, you're going to lift your knees and drop to the right. And just take a breath here, reaching your left hip away from your left shoulder. No problem, right? Then inhale back to center. I like to move my bum over to the right because when you lift your knees and drop them to the left, you get a more perpendicular spine, which means you'll get a deeper twist. Reach your right hip away from your right shoulder. Good. Inhale back to center, taking your arms palms up, which means you roll your outer arm bones out. Your shoulders are going to hug together. Lift your bum, just reach your sit bones, your tailbone towards your heels. Take a big inhale for your nose. Exhale through your mouth. As you release your legs, just lie to the mat. And truly into that pose of the winter, planting yourself as a seed, just rejuvenating yourself these few months into rest. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Yeah. Draw your knees to your chest and roll to your right side. Just be there. Just be there. And then make your way to a sit on your mat. Bring your palms together to your heart center with your eyes closed. Setting your intention to know that this is winter season, a time to just recharge, rejuvenate, germinate, whatever you want to call it, and allow yourself that. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Mwah. Love you guys. Let me just turn off recording.